And welcome to After the Show. Franchise J. Claxton, this beautiful lady next to me, Dr. Cass Vaughn.
Hey.
What's up?
So before we start the show officially, a few weeks ago, I shared with everyone that my dad was ill and going through some things. On Sunday, March 19th, surrounded by his family, my dad passed away. And everybody wanted me to cancel today. They said, don't do today. But when I know who my dad was and who he was to people, he taught me a lesson as a little girl that we are to be servants to the people and not celebrities. And despite everything that we've accomplished over the years, what I know is that with my amazing guests that we have today, in not one, but two shows, and with our incredible producer who actually, knows my dad very well, and with my amazing, incredible, loving life partner, there was no way that I could not do it and not be the strong person that my dad raised. For those who don't know, my dad was Dr. A.C.D. Vaughn. He was known as the Dean of Pastors across the country, civil rights leader for years, pastor for over 65 years, and just an incredible guy. So many people have poured out their thoughts, their prayers, and their love. And to answer a question that everybody seems to ask, no, I'm not okay, but I'm gonna be okay. Because even though I can't physically touch my dad any longer, I know that he's always in every room with me now. And I'll take it day by day. And with our After the Show audience and friends, I'll get through it.
Definitely. I lost my grandmother early that I was super close to, I lived with. And so even when I was like, we don't have to do the show, won't we not do the show? He was like, I want to do the show. So I get it, because I still DJ'd, I still did everything, because it gives you an opportunity to do some other things, be around some other people, talk to some other people and kind of get your mind off of everything that you're dealing with, as far as that. So we appreciate you for doing the show, being, the strong individual that you are to push through. And, it's a saying that time heals all wounds. It's not the fact that the time will heal this wound, but it will make it a little easier. Your thoughts will shift to just sharing the times that y'all had. You understand what I'm saying? So I wanted to deal with something else that wasn't necessarily as urgent and pressing as that.
Okay.
I have the Seattle Seahawks shirt on because I just love this old uniform from back in the 80s.
Okay.
I am not a Seattle Seahawks fan. I'm a fan of nobody. I sports bet and I play fantasy. So I have no emotional attachment to anybody. I control my emotions. So that's the sidebar early. But let's get in real quick. Trending topics. We talked about it a little bit before we got started. So some folks that you used to work with, right?
No, that's not what we're doing.
No, I mean we got
Here we go.
We broadcast. We're not here to actually tell our side or what we think.
Here we go.
We're just here to broadcast.
Here we go.
What's going on in pop culture.
I got you.
So some folks that you used to work with, right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It came out that they was doing some filth, flaw, and filth with each other, right? They were fornicating with each other. Now I don't. You kind of know a little more of the details, but
I don't know.
When is it cool to tell and air out all your dirty laundry. When did this become fashionable?
I don't know. Let me ask you a question. Can I?
No.
I can't make. You're not Me Too. You're not a Me Too movie?
Like what? When did this become fashionable? You know what? After we finish, let me just tell everybody that we were smacking each other around in a hotel room.
Whoa! That's not what it said in the memoir.
Well, what did it say?
I'm not telling. You'll have to go buy Deborah Lee's
I don't care that much.
Memoir.
I don't care that much.
All things her and Bob Johnson.
I do not care that much. I don't want to know about older folks having fornicating. I don't care. I'm just saying that I am here to talk about pop culture, and that is part of pop culture. That's all.
Well, what I will tell you is we will continue this conversation after our next story.
And maybe our next guest has some light on this situation, right? This gentleman talks to just everybody, the who's who of the industry. He's been doing it for some years. He is like a celebrity media guru in the industry.
He's written for Forbes. He's written for Ebony. He just did an amazing, incredible interview with your homeboy, actually, Matt.
Okay.
You name it, if there is an outlet, a real outlet out there, he has written all of them. But we'll talk to him about, everything, everything, Deborah.
All right. So Kenny Williams, what's up, my brother? How are you feeling? How are you doing? What's going on? How was the weekend? What's going on with business? And what happened with Deborah Lee and Bob Johnson?
Well, I want to thank y'all for inviting me on here. I really appreciate the opportunity. This is lovely. This weekend I was kind of recovering. I just celebrated my 29th birthday, but if somebody asked, it was my 21st.
I know that.
Yeah, we gotta keep it together. But
what's your drink of choice? What's your drink of choice before you get into Bob Johnson, Deborah Lee? What's your drink of choice?
So I've been on my grown man stuff lately. So a few years ago would have been Casamigos, Patron, and Anejo and whatnot. But now I've been drinking bourbon, whiskey. I don't know. I'm trying to be on my real grown man stuff, like how my granddaddy was. So
let me ask you a question. And I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because we can go for the whole time that you're supposed to be in here. If we're talking about bourbon, whiskey, cigars, and that sort of thing. But what was your bourbon or whiskey of choice?
Jim Beam, and I think it was the honey kind too.
Okay, so look, we're gonna grow you out of the honey, right? Because
Yeah.
the honey really for a novice, right? And we're gonna grow you out of the honey, so where you can really get some of the flavor notes and that sort of thing.
We happen to be bourbon drinkers,
right? From what comes out the bottle. You almost want it what comes out the bottle. You don't even want to. For me, I don't even want to add nothing to it.
Come on.
I don't want to add nothing to it. But congratulations for you graduating to on your grown man bourbon whiskey expedition.
Thank you.
That is the
So,
word.
Kenny, let's talk about it. You have interviewed some of the top celebrities.
He didn't answer my question yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Deborah Lee and Bob Johnson.
Oh,
Come on now.
Well, I'm not too sure of the specifics. I know there's been a lot of information that's come out, but what I will say is, personally, I'm proud of Miss Deborah Lee for telling her truth. And
She told her truth.
Yeah, I'm just proud of her telling her story and just being transparent, especially, with such a big platform that she has. And, I'm hoping that encourages other people to feel comfortable in doing the same and sharing their truth and their experiences. And I think, and like I said, I'm not too familiar with the specifics. I haven't really caught up with the case or the situation. But what I will say is I always believe Black women. I always support Black women. I think we should all do that. And I'm hoping that whatever this situation leads to, I'm hoping that more Black men will continue to be allies to not only Miss Deborah Lee, but Black women, period. Because that's what we should always be doing, protecting Black women and supporting them.
Right.
What I will say is this. I agree with you 100%. And I am, because I've worked with her, right? What I will say to you is it's hard in a male-dominated field to ever come out, right? And then the other thing is I hope that we as a culture embrace it and don't do what we always do. And that is to blackball her or say, oh, she's just upset. Because she has no reason to be upset about anything. She's still pushing. She's still making moves. She's still being the person she is, you know?
Right. So my 2 cents is if she was wrongly, if she was blackmailed into, you know, having this affair, then she should tell it. But if it was consensual, 2 grown ass adults, if it was consensual, then why are we talking about it? And that's it, you know.
So what I will say is everybody can go buy Miss Lee's memoir
to
find out.
Right. And I'm sorry we spent too much time on it, but go ahead, babe.
Yes. So I was watching an interview that you did recently on Method Man and Power, you know. Tell me, how was that?
I was kind of nervous, to be quite honest, because Method Man, he's an icon, you know what I'm saying? Especially as we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop, but it was a great experience. I'm just getting to chat with him about his character, Davis, on Power, and what will be like some of the trials and tribulations that Davis is going to go through. So I think it was pretty cool. And I think that I'm always impressed when somebody of his stature is as kind as they are. And that was the same with him. He was very nice and he didn't have to be. So I appreciated the interview.
Right. So when you think about the people that you have interviewed, right? What do you think was the interview of interviews for you? Like which one really meant something and you felt like that was the one?
Oh man, when I interviewed Trina a few months ago.
Okay.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love her so much. I've loved her ever since high school. Because you know, like her music has helped me out just with my confidence and the way that I approach certain things, like whether it's my career or just my social life. And just kind of interviewing her, but also giving her those flowers like in real time. Right. It was just such a great conversation. And for her to affirm me, like for one of your idols, one of your like teenage idols to affirm you, I don't know. That was one of those moments where I was just like, thank you, God. Well, I'm always like that, but I was very happy about that.
I will tell you, you know, I was thinking about that, as you said, when you asked him that question. And so if I was to think about pivotal moments in my career, let's say as a producer, right? I had 2 pivotal moments, okay? One was because I worked on The Wire, season 2, season 3, was blessed to be able to write. And the other one was BET Awards with the Beyonce one. Yeah.
I'm a Beehive member. I love Beyonce.
Trust me, I know. I follow you. So I know.
Yeah, me too. I ain't going at nobody, but I'm definitely Beyonce. Been a Beyonce fan from young, the original Destiny's Child.
So I enjoy her music, but I am not a Beehive person.
She hating.
I'm not hating.
Man. Listen, she's hating. I'm telling you, man. But no, listen, Kenny, we're not gonna hold you any longer. We greatly appreciate you being on part of our platform. We're grateful and thankful, my brother. And this won't be the last time, and I promise that. And we want to bounce some things off you as well. So thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us, man.
Yes, we'll definitely talk soon, Kenny. I appreciate everything you do. Like I said, I follow you a lot. I get a lot of my news from you, you know.
Thank you.
And I'm just grateful for everything that you give to the culture. Okay.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all are veterans, so thank y'all for everything that y'all do, and I really appreciate this.
All right.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
See you guys.
Until next time.
Well, you know what? I never had an opportunity to talk to Trina. That actually, I would love to do that. That would be a real great interview. You know what I mean? It really
James,
would be.
He wants to talk to Trina.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to
James Alexander.
To our partner, man. Listen, handle that, James.
Handle your handle.
Yeah, handle your handle. And plus, you might like to talk to Trina too. So I don't know, man. You know, who knows?
Well, wait, hold on. Why you want to talk to Trina so much?
I didn't say I said him.
Okay.
I'm very clear when I talk. Very clear.
Plus, you don't want this smoke.
Again, I'm very clear when I talk. And I think it would be an amazing interview. It's a lot. I remember first record. I still had.
That's a new song.
No, listen.
He don't want no.
I still have vinyl of a lot of her, her projects, her first project when she was doing she was supposed to be a doctor, like an ER person, taking had a guy on
I know
the
what you're talking about. Actually,
so,
Trina's one of my favorite artists. My kids a long time ago told me to stop playing Trina.
Right. and this is a perfect segue into our next guest.
Yes.
Hip hop is 50.
Yeah.
And we're talking about hip hop. We're talking about music. We're talking about this 50 years of this genre that they did not think was going to last. Right? They thought it was just a passing phase. They thought Rodney Dangerfield could do a rap record.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that video.
Rapping Rodney.
Right. I forgot all about that.
They had, the rapping Duke. You know what I'm saying? He was rapping. Everybody was rapping because they thought it was a novelty. And look, 50 years later, we are good, man. So let's bring our next guest in. My man Dialect. What up, man?
Peace. Thanks for having me on. I love hearing y'all talking about Trina. Trina, who, like you're saying, was not just a rapper. Trina was someone who helped people get their stuff together. Trina would usher people through, facilitate them understanding what their fantasies are, and also had to deal with police overreach when the police would accost her for the rotundness of her behind, telling her to pull over because it's too fat. Now, come on now.
I definitely didn't think that was coming. Out of all the things saying, the rotundness of her behind, I did not think that was what she was going to say.
That's police overreach. That's not y'all department. So, Trina had to be, hip hop has always been about, I moved to New York when I was 17. I came from the Caribbean, and the whole thing about being hip hoppers is that we fill in the gaps that were necessary in our communities, right? Our MCs, we're not just event hosts, we're educators, we're journalists. We talk the stories that are going on in our community that people don't know about. We help usher people through. We, may motivate the crowd to have some fun through the evening, but we also educate them. We also give them the things that they need in life. The dancers, the DJs, the graffiti writers, all of these people, they exist because there was a great need. When you see hip hop all around the world, I remember I was out in Cambodia with this great hip hop education company called Tiny Toons. Shout out to Tiny Toons, y'all got it going. They had graffiti artists who were painting on the walls because they couldn't afford nice paints, just like back home. This is a great culture, as you're saying, that was born out of need and out of a desire to get community to create something that we can collectively have together.
So when you think that the music actually changed? Because let's kind of piggyback on some things you said. The MC was supposed to tell a story of our neighborhoods, our hood or the ghetto, whatever the case may be. And that changed, where now it ain't necessarily telling a story. It's just, I got more than you. And, that's not necessarily, you ain't really necessarily educating me. It's just you and your braggadocious, which is part is competitive. I get, but when did you think that it changed? Because I want to do that question, and I have another one because I didn't want to segue. I didn't want to merge the two.
Woo, yeah, I love talking hip hop and rap history about how things change and grow. I look at what happened to hip hop in our generation, similar to what happened with blaxploitation films of the previous generation, where these were authentic stories of people that were then taken and cartoonified for white audiences. And what you saw in hip hop, there was this point where there were all these jazzy cats and everyone had these different perspectives. Then it became only drug dealer hood perspectives were the things that were allowed to be out there. And then those perspectives, as you say, were cut away. This happened somewhere in the late-ish 2000s, where storytelling in general was devalued as they were cutting away all of the relevant parts of hip hop. You remember when there used to be a rapper and a DJ and a dancer, all of that in there. They slowly cut away all those pieces. In recent times, this very valid expression of self that like, hey, I'm here and I'm bragging, that we need is just the first step to being able to share what's in your community. And labels were like, hey, stop. We just want that first step because the next thing becomes out of our control and don't make us money.
Right. And people really forget that the MC was simply just the host for the DJ.
Yes.
It was about the DJ.
Yes.
The DJ didn't talk much, so you needed an MC kind of to hype the crowd when the DJ was, you know, painting his picture with his music. You know what I mean? And that's where Melly Mel, because Grandmaster Flash did not talk. Then you had people like Hollywood, DJ Hollywood, who actually talked when he played, you know. And that's where the MC actually came from. I'm sorry, maybe I'm showing my age right now.
I'm right with you. I'm right there with you.
Dialect, let me ask you, I want to get into the heart of it. Tell us about the competition and what you're doing for Hip Hop is 50.
So I'm a hip hop educator. I've been doing it for, as of this month, 20 years myself. And in the past couple of years, we put together this contest. I work with Pocket Change. I'm the director of pedagogy, where we use hip hop pedagogy to get students to understand personal finance issues. Now, in classrooms, like we said, all this stuff, everybody's always worried about, are you going to teach our kids to be gangsters? So no, I would come in there and give them the relevant pedagogy and meet them where they're at. So we would cut back a lot on the actual music performance part. But I realized 2 years ago, hey, if we want kids to actually change the way we talk about finance, change what common sense is, because, you know, common sense is, hey, I can't check my credit score because my credit score will go down. That's not true, but it's common sense because we spread it and it's been put in our communities. If we want to give kids the opportunity to change common sense, the best way to do that is through art. And the most direct way to do that is through our people's art, is rap culture, where we can get these words out in a textual form that makes sense. So if you go to hiphopfinfest.com, to just break this down quickly, we have 5 finance lessons for you to understand: asynchronous, video, writing prompts, all that good stuff, prompts on how to write a song and how to record a song by hip hop legends, beats made by other young people. You get there, you can do it probably in one day, check out some lessons, write a song about, this year's theme is Wants Our Needs Too, because what is important to your community matters. You'll never stick to a budget you don't believe in. So what are you going to spend and save your money on? Share that part. We have awesome judges who are some celebrities, some label owners, some practitioners who are going to judge the work. We have amazing prizes: $1,000 for the grand prize winner, a trip to Disney World to go and rock, and Pocket Studios. These are basically studios in a backpack. Sony gave us a bunch of equipment where cats can go and record and rock and do their thing elsewhere. So we got about a week left for submissions, and this is planned to be something going on every year. So if you're too late to participate this year, come check out the virtual concert that we'll be having at the end of April, Financial Literacy Month, and then get with us next year, because we're going to keep doing this.
No, man, listen, that was a lot. I appreciate that. And no, I'm going to tell you, it's you guys are doing so much. You're doing so much. And please let us know offline how we can help, how we can be a part. You know, we love to give back. We love to do those type of things as well. So I appreciate it. And because Hip Hop is 50, I usually ask all my guests, but we usually ask our guests, what was the song that turned the light bulb on for you to be like, this is my genre? Go.
Ooh, that's tough. So I'm gonna give you 3 real quick. So it's a cross between Chino XL's Creep, Bahamadia, who was a judge last year, who's my favorite MC of all times, Mad Explosive Spontaneity, and also when I heard Nas do The Message on the second record on It Was Written. Those 3 joints were the thing that was bubbling up in me. A little Poor Righteous Teachers too, all of those type of cats.
Illmatic or It Was Written, what was the best one?
Oh, best one? I don't believe in that. This is art. This ain't sports. We're not beating nobody over nothing.
I like that.
I'm an Illmatic fan. I ain't gonna lie, Dialect. I get you, but I'm that.
Oh yeah,
Illmatic classic. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for all the info. Thank you for what you're doing for the culture and the community. Appreciate it. We need more folks like you. We're missing that. So thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Peace.
Love business on lock.
So what you
got? Love business on lock. I watched my mom this week lose her friend, confidant, lover, husband, best friend of 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my question today is, how deep is your love?
I don't know how. What you got to elaborate, man.
I've always known that my parents loved each other.
Mm-hmm.
They showed us love. Was raised in a household full of love. They showed us how to love on and how to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until I watched my mom, who at the moment could not process my dad's death, and you were there, so you know, basically tell him, I'll see you soon. How deep is your love?
Well, we all are here, unfortunately. You know, we do have an expiration date, all of us. And, you know, the older we get, the closer we get to the expiration date. And I was there. I seen your mom say that. But I also seen her kind of like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, now that that is initially done and I got past that part, you know, it almost seemed like she bouncing back. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what, you know, it's never, ever, ever going to be the same. Her love will never, ever stop. You guys, the love, that doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? And it's deep. And she will be with her life partner. You understand? Like, she will be with them eventually. You know? And of course, we hope it's a lot later than sooner. But she eventually be. But that's 60 years. That's deep. Look, and I had to catch myself. People don't even live that long. They were together for longer than, and it's unfortunate that more people are on this earth right now. So that's different. That's different. You know what I mean? That's different. That is deep. You know what I mean? And we hope that all of us have relationships that are that deep. Problem is now, your mother and father didn't come up in social media. So they grew together. Now everybody think they got a bunch of options because of what's on social media, which is not true at all. You know what I'm saying? Not true at all. Look, man, it's franchise J. Claxton, and this is your food for thought for today. A lot of times we think that we got all the time in the world. A lot of times we think we can just push some things back or whatever the case may be, and we can just take care of it when we take care of it. Man, your most prized commodity in life is time. Most prized commodity, you know. So all that to say, you know, take good care of your time. Time is very, very important. Time is very important in your life, in other people's life, doing business with folks, whatever the case may be. You cannot get your time back. You watching After the Show right now, we need to give you information so that your time is not wasted. We're not here to waste your time. You should not allow anybody to waste your time. Time is of the essence. I cannot get the time back. I cannot get the moment back. I cannot get whatever just happened. It's never going to happen the same way again. Super Bowl happens every year, you know, first week in February. It used to be late January, now 1st of February. It happens every year. It's never the same. Never the same place, never the same teams, never the same outcome. So please, 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 take care of your time. Be on time. Don't waste anybody else's time. Man, make sure that time, it's of the essence. It is really of the essence. We don't know when this is done. We don't know when we can, you know, be able to do these things, see anybody again. We just don't know. So please, it's your biggest commodity. Take care of your time. That is your food for thought for today. I'm Franchise J. Claxton. Shout out to my partner, Dr. Kaz Vaughn. Shout out to you for being a part of this. We don't do this if it's not for you. So thank you so much. Please be safe. Please take care of your time. Please have great, deep, loving, meaningful relationships. And we appreciate our guests, Dialect and Kenny Williams. We greatly appreciate you as well. After that being said, man, please be safe. We'll see you next time.